Good afternoon, everyone. Andy Jacob here with the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. And we have a very, very special show today. You absolutely do not want to miss it. We are bringing on two founders of a very special company that are doing groundbreaking work in their respective fields. I've been trying to get these two gentlemen on the show for weeks, and finally they've been able to slice some time out of their busy schedules to talk to us today about the NeST group of companies. I'm so excited. I want to get right into it. We have Mr. Arun and Mr. Chintan Panara, who are the co-founders of the NeST group companies. And what they do is going to be something you're going to be tuned in for the entire hour, because this is an exciting time for us to learn about artificial intelligence, about cloud solutions, about data analytics, and a lot of other things that are making smarter systems that create a more intelligent world. So let's get started first with Arun. Arun, welcome to the show, and please let's get right into it and tell us about the NeST group of companies.
Thank you so much, Andy. Hi, everyone. This is Arun here. I'll give a brief about what do we do as part of NeST group of companies. So Chintan and I formed the NeST group with a singular vision that would bring technology solutions to some of the world's most pressing problems. We saw the potential in combining data analysis with satellite imagery to help farmers to improve their outputs. We imagined how cities could function more efficiently with smart technology and artificial intelligence. We are also excited by the way that augmented reality and virtual reality could improve design, create new and immersive environments. We recognize the fact that the need to find materials and processes that could replace the use of plastic bags. And we saw the importance of constructing affordable homes to help build thriving, sustainable communities. While we realize that technology can offer solutions to these important challenges, we are always aware that if we really want to use technology to make the world better, greener, and more prosperous, we need to focus not on technology for technology's sake, but how to solve the needs of real people and their communities. It is that focus on people, communities, and the places they work and live that lies at the heart of everything NeST Group does. Our approach is one of open innovation. As the pace of technology continues to accelerate, collaboration between the private sector, academic institutions, and the public sector has to become the norm. If you are going to develop the innovative solution the world needs now, this approach enables us always bring the best talents and the sharpest of minds to the focus on the problems we choose to solve. It gives us an agility that is hard to find in a single large company alone. We all know that. We see partnership and open innovation as an opportunity for everyone and not a threat to anyone. There are enough challenges to go around and enough solutions waiting to be developed. So NeST group of companies is made up of 5 subsidiaries, each with its own focus. The first one is Xpertnest, is a digital innovation company specialized in artificial intelligence, machine learning, application software design, development, implementation, smart cities, AR, VR across domains and industries. GameNest the second company creates 2D and 3D augmented reality and virtual reality games and application. The third one is Xpertnest, using disruptive innovation to rid the world of single use of plastic. The fourth one is CineNest, produces original videos and animated movies for the OTT platforms. And the fifth one is HomeNest, uses technology to build affordable green housing for the social communities. So we can say that innovation is not technology, innovation is utility.
Arun, I love that. And what you're really saying is something that we're hearing more and more from great companies and great leaders throughout the world that we speak to, that not only is it about the business of doing business, but what's equally important is changing the world for a positive. And what we're seeing here with what you do with your companies is not only do you help other companies, but you're helping the world as well. Is that sort of the idea behind your group of companies?
That's correct, Andy. To answer your question, I can say, to be honest, if we take a pause out of our busy life and generously give a look around, we would notice how much we have progressed as human beings in terms of technology, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, and painting a picture of sci-fi movies like driverless cars, hands-free devices, communicating with home appliances, automatic street and traffic light regulators, drone capturing images of crop fields, and the list goes on. All of this did not appear overnight. It's the result of innovative minds that spend a part of their life calculating and shaping the future for all of us. So, armed with most cutting edge technologies to create groundbreaking solutions across industries, Xpertnest, the first company of Nest Group of companies dedicated to build smarter systems that create a more intelligent world for mankind. The leadership team at Xpertnest perceive the world as a various segregated microsystems waiting to be transformed into one larger ecosystem that is thriving together. While at a constant quest to bring innovation, Xpertness looks towards nature as the source of all solutions that are simple and beneficial. We believe in being innovators who are always evolving. Expertness create, innovate, and implement technologies that make a positive and real difference for the mankind. Okay, we have the habit of creating always the disruptive play or disruptive innovation, but the team bring together technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, IoT, complex solution development combined with advanced analytics to go one step beyond predicting the trends and further optimizing the processes to provide more value. So from telecom to transport, automobile to agriculture, smart cities to smart homes, healthcare or finance, Xpertnest is making a better world using the building blocks of integrated technologies. Xpertnest offers businesses universally the chance to be a part of global shift towards a more connected world. This creates the urge to drive a deeper engagement with our partners both in the real and the digital space. I say the client and the partner say, we believe together we can make a real difference, Andy.
See, that's unbelievable, Arun. And obviously, Chintan Panara, who's also with us today, is a very busy person building the technological blocks for all the great things that you do at Xpertnest and the NeST group of companies. So let's ask Chintan a couple of questions, because when I'm listening to Arun, I'm saying to myself, wow, you guys are doing a lot of things. So Chintan, how do you make sure that everything gets done at the NeST group of companies from a technological standpoint?
Thanks, Andy. So, like Arun mentioned, at Xpertnest and every Nest group of companies, we don't look a problem from the technology perspective. We look the problem from the customer perspective and the community perspective, how we can bring the solution to that particular problem. So, and it's not necessary that every community problem or every people problem has a complex technology solution. There could be simple solutions out there. Even though we are quite innovative company and we range in terms of technology, starting from artificial intelligence to augmented reality and deep learning. So all bleeding edge technology is something which we work with, but we don't impose technology onto our customers or onto community that we work with. So, for example, recently we have worked with UK government in the south of UK with Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole Council. During the COVID, we have developed a very simple but very effective application which helps in social distancing. So, BCP is the coastal area. So our app, which we have developed in a record short time, helps people to know what's the congestion level in the 50-mile stretch of the beach. And tourists and locals can select the area where they really can enjoy without being crowded with others. So that sort of simple thing, but really effective thing. And on the other hand, We work with the scientists in the agriculture domain to develop the next breed of crops. We help them analyze. We give them the boost of the technology so that the thing they used to analyze, it used to take weeks or months. It just takes minutes and seconds, and that's the reason they are very innovative in terms of developing new crop breeds. So this sort of wide range of things, what we do from agriculture to smart city, which makes us really effective in all the domain.
That's amazing, Chintan. And I'd like to stay with Chintan just for a minute and then bounce back to Arun, because I have some other questions for Arun, obviously. But Chintan, you mentioned 2-3 things during just this short interview where, you've been involved with COVID, you're involved with the farming community, you're building smarter systems for other types of companies to build a more intelligent world. When people reach out to the NeST group of companies, what's your process at Xpertnest? Because you have such a unbelievable background and experience that you can help so many companies and institutions and even governments. What's the process, Chintan, when a company or a government or an educational institute reaches out to you and says, hey, we have a problem? How do you take them through the process to get them to where they need to be?
So as a company, we always believe that we prove ourselves first before we get into any sort of commercial discussion. And rather with government institutes and other charity institutes or the community facing institute, we never think of earning hugely out of them. We always try to serve with the whatever minimum level of commercial what we can do. So we start with, and even with the enterprise, we start with a small proof of concepts where we can justify the technology to them, so that they also see the value coming out of the quick and small piece of work which we have done for them. And once that is done, then we strategize for the long term and give them the roadmap of how they want to reach the end goal which they have in mind. What's the quickest and fastest way to reach there? And that's always been the same thing for all of the NeST group of companies. We would like to prove ourselves with the quality work before we move ahead with anything. And that's the approach we normally take when we start with any kind of work.
See, I love that, Chintan, and that's amazing because you have the expertise and experience to do that. A lot of companies that don't have the expertise like you and Arun have with your companies, they go all in before they sort of earn the business from the bigger companies. And what you're saying is you're so confident with your group of companies that you actually go in and sort of prove out to the companies that you're working with that you have the chops to go forward and provide and deliver what they need. And then after that, you move into the larger enterprise or the larger sort of program. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and more than that, Andy, rather than us, we always think we should deliver value to our customers. So what even they are trying to do, if that doesn't prove out to be a value solution for them, it's not something which as a company we would like to do, which doesn't give them the satisfactory value. So sometime with our customer, they also realize that after going through the process that what they want to do is really something else, not they have started with. So it really helps them as well many times. So it's both the ways. We don't want to work where we can't deliver value. So
I love it. I love it. That is very, very beautiful. It's very refreshing. And actually, it's one of the keys to Xpertnest and the NeST group of companies' success. And by the way, Xpertnest is spelled with an X. So it's Xpertnest with an X if you go online. And I really like that because X marks the spot. And I think that's what your company does very well, is you mark the spot of where these companies, educational institutions, and other clients need to sort of focus in on that X, and you help them get there. So I think that was a real brilliant sort of marketing strategy. Arun, let's get back to you now just for a minute. Arun, when we're thinking about Xpertnest, everybody's talking about artificial intelligence now and machine learning. How important is this artificial intelligence and machine learning to the Xpertnest company value proposition for companies that are coming to you right now?
So, Andy, thanks. The technology itself is evolving. So it's not the technology which try to bring the value proposition to Xpertnest. We do believe the key to our success is our focus on building strong relationships with our clients upfront. We take the time to truly understand their business and the environment which they are currently operating. It may be artificial intelligence, it may be machine learning, IoT, AR, VR, doesn't matter. But by focusing on gaining an understanding of the whole business and the operating model, we believe we are then in a much better position to work on a very specific project. Our understanding of what our clients are asking us to do is then informed by our understanding of the context in which the solution to be deployed. No matter the technologies, as I say, it's evolving. So we are adaptive, we are a managed service company, we are system integrator, so we're ever evolving, Andy.
That's amazing. And we talk to many entrepreneurs throughout the world, as you both know. And one thing that always shines through with the companies like the NeST group of companies or Xpertnest that have become very successful and a leader in their field is the fact that they're focused on the customer. And if you focus on that customer first, everything good comes from that. When we speak to startup founders that are so focused in on their technology, but forget about the customer, that's typically a recipe for disaster. So this is a perfect example of the people watching the show that are younger entrepreneurs thinking about starting up their business, or younger founders in their initial startup phase, that you have to focus in on the customer, just like Arun and Chintan have been able to do with the NeST group of companies. I'm going to follow up, Arun, with one question for you, and then I want to bounce back to Chintan because I have a couple more questions for Chintan. When you have founded such a successful group of companies, Arun, and let's say there's a younger founder watching the show today, or a number of younger founders, and they're saying to themselves, well, I want to build something like the NeST group of companies, or what Arun and Chintan have been able to build over at Xpertnest. Maybe you could give them a few pointers about what it takes to become a nice, successful entrepreneur in a startup.
Okay. So, Andy, to be honest, me and Chintan, we always believe entrepreneurship or entrepreneur doesn't mean that to create a unique product or a service. For us, entrepreneurship or entrepreneur creates an ecosystem allowing others budding entrepreneurs to build and try their solution products and services, and thereby stimulating the economic growth. And I believe among all the things we do as an entrepreneur to build an amazing company, there are two most important things we need to take care of from the beginning. Firstly, have a vision and ethos for your company, which is clear, compelling, and inspires everyone around you to work together for the company's sake. And then, secondly, build a great team of people who have different but complementary skills. Andy.
See, I love that. And this actually does lead into the next question. And I'm going to kind of shoot it over to Chintan now, because this leads right into the question I was going to ask. Chintan, how do you manage the team? In other words, you have so many projects going on, and you have so many wonderful initiatives going on with artificial intelligence and machine learning and cloud solutions, data analytics, insights. So how do you manage the team, Chintan, under the NeST group of companies? How is that done from your perspective?
So, like Arun said, that is something which we have to bring them in the DNA when they join us, to continuously focus on developing something which is really useful and innovative. So we never think of them like a team. They are all of them are family to us, and in any crisis, even during the COVID crisis, we haven't left a single employee. We have carried forward all the employees. Rather, we are hiring more. So we really think of them as a family. And first thing which we teach them when they join us is to focus on the core values and core ethos of the Xpertnest, like Arun mentioned. And we give them enough opportunity to thrive, both technologically as well, and also in terms of the functional and business perspective as well. So it's more, I mean, we on a day-to-day basis, we feel more like we are working with a family rather than a bunch of employees. So, and that's really amazing.
See, I love this, Chintan. This is really, really a great approach that you have, because you treat everyone within your ecosystem as a family. And I think what happens is your clients feel that from your internal employee pool. And what happens is they then become part of the extended family. And that's one of the keys to success, is that your customers feel like they're also part of your family. Now, a lot of younger entrepreneurs are going to be watching the show, Chintan, and they're might say to themselves, well, how does Xpertnest or the NeST group of companies, how are they able to attract such quality people to help them with their worldwide vision? And is there one thing you look for when you're hiring someone, Chintan, to join the group of companies that is far and above everything else when you're interviewing someone? Is there a certain component of their personality or their mindset that you look for before you hire them on at your company?
So we across the world, wherever we operate, being it UK or Europe or India, we look for younger talents who is really out there wanting to make the difference. And as you might have noticed during the interview, we really do not focus much on technology while we hire anything, because technology is something which can be taught easily. As long as the person has the enthusiasm to work and do something good, believe in what they are, and that is something we look for. We look for that spark in those individuals, and that is something which is key at the Xpertnest. So we believe in doing every small thing in a good manner, which is kind of a definition of the perfection. You do so many things good, and at the end of the day, what you'll receive would definitely be a good product at the end of it.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And your entire organization, from top down, left to right, Chintan, is committed to becoming part of this internal family, and that then crosses over to your client base, and they understand that they're part of the extended family. And that's how you're able to provide these quick solutions, because even in your own family, for example, if somebody comes to you with a big problem, you want to be able to provide them a quick solution to get to their problem. And then after you provide the quick solution, then you want to expand on the solution and help them in a comprehensive way. And that's exactly what you do in a very, very good way. Let's focus now on something else, and let's shift this conversation over to Arun just for a minute. Arun, I know you're sitting there listening to Chintan and probably shaking your head and very happy that he is one of your co-founders after hearing him. Is there anything else that you want to expound on that Chintan mentioned that maybe is important for our listeners and our viewers to know about your Xpertnest company at this point?
Of course, Chintan has covered, Andy, almost everything. There is one key attribute I would like to talk about here about our Xpertnest. What is it like differentiate us from others? So it's not the technology actually. Means technology is always evolving. We have to adapt ourselves to the technology. There are two things which we feel as NeST group of companies or Xpertnest have learned so far. The first one is, as I mentioned earlier, open innovation. We need to think about how the public sector, private sector, and academic institution has come together, has to become the norm, and we're going to develop innovative solution the world needs now. That's number one. And second is open innovation should not be taken as a kind of threat to anybody. It's an opportunity for everyone. And there is one more thing that you need to take care. Like we have a unique mix of personnel or people, Chintan just mentioned, which is because of the ethos of the company work closely together in harmony. At one end, we have young dynamic technicians or engineers who understand the latest technology trends and their suitability to solve the business problems. And at the other end, we have seasoned senior professionals who have many years of experience working at a C-level within the multinational companies. Now, by harmonizing these different strands into a cohesive unit, Xpertnest has an ability which stands out from its peers. And that's what I wanted to say.
See, I love that. That's your unique selling proposition. And that's the thing that is your differentiator, because there's a lot of companies, like you said, that because technology is constantly evolving and changing, you have to focus in as much on the relationships and making your team part of the family and making your customers part of the family as you do the technology. And it's that very fine balance for the people watching, especially the younger entrepreneurs, that Arun and Chintan have been able to bridge. So this is a wonderful, wonderful sort of almost Harvard MBA master's class with regard to how to balance your company from both a technological standpoint and also the people standpoint. And a lot of people forget about that people standpoint, but it is so important, because when you have this ever evolving technology and you're experts in technology like Arun and Chintan and their companies are, you have to be able to balance the personal aspect of what you're doing to build a great company. So Arun, thank you so much for that. I have one more question each for both of you, and thank you so much for the time you've been able to spend with us, both Chintan and Arun. I know that you're super busy and you're building some world-class technology, some unbelievable applications like Chintan mentioned with regard to the COVID application. I know that you're involved with a lot of things with many institutions right now. So again, thank you for slicing this time out. So let's go to Chintan right now. And I'm going to ask Chintan one last question. And then I want to go back to Arun quickly to close out the interview. And thank you again for this, because I know time is very valuable for you and your team. Chintan, when you were much younger, when you were a younger man and you were thinking about going into business, when you were thinking about becoming a C-level executive or co-founding a company such as the one that you've been able to co-found with Arun, did you know it when you were younger that you were going to sort of be a leader in the field, or was this something that came to you later in life? And the reason I ask is because we have a lot of younger people also that watch the show, and they like to look up to leadership and get some answers to the questions that they have. Did you always know that you were going to become a leader, or was this something that evolved with time, Chintan?
So one thing is for sure, that's even me and Arun, when we used to work for different companies, we knew someday we are going to start something of our own. So I wouldn't say I've dreamed of becoming a leader, but what we have dreamed of is starting something of what we can call of our own, where the way we work, our ethos can be mirrored into that particular company. So that was really a dream which we are chasing since quite a young age. And even to other entrepreneurs who want to start something of their own, it's the key thing is not look out for earning money or not look out for becoming something, rather than focus really on what really you want to do with your life, and what is something which gives you spark and how you can help the community around you. So if you try to focus on the money aspect only, or try to become something, you are not going to make it. You have to focus on what you believe. So the day when I left the job, probably that was the best day of my life, I can say that. So So that's how badly we wanted to do that, and that energy, that spark has, I think, made us reach here.
That's wonderful, Chintan. And let's shoot back to Arun very quickly, because Chintan just mentioned the spark, and you all have it at your umbrella of companies. You both obviously have that spark. So Arun, with what your companies have been able to accomplish, is there one thing that you're most proud of with what the companies have been able to do, or is it hard to pigeonhole it down to one thing?
That's the only one thing I can say, Andy, is the people who are connected with us, because we don't believe like a brand is built overnight. It's the people buy from people. I come from a military background, 7.5 years in military, and I have the habit of staying connected. I was an army officer, and I have the habit of staying connected with the troops. So I believe it's the people connection, the people who are the real force behind what you achieve in the company. That's what I can say, Andy.
I love that. Well, obviously that commitment, Arun and Chintan, to your people and your customers shines through with what you do at the NeST group of companies, worldwide leader in what you do. And it's just wonderful to have you both on the show today. Of course, what's happening at Xpertnest is outstanding with everything that you're doing in AI and machine learning, of course, cloud solutions, experts in cloud solutions and data analytics, and of course, insights, which are very important for any company, whether you're a $10 million company, a $100 million company, or a $1 billion company or more now. If you don't have the data analytics and the insights, and you don't have the people to bring those insights to you in a meaningful way, you're really going to be lost in the weeds. And that's why Xpertnest has really become a leader in the field. And I wanted to thank you both for coming on the show today. I think this was just a delight and very educational to help us learn from the top of what it takes to not only build a great company, but also the commitment it takes and the passion that is needed to not only the technology, but also the people and the relationships and the ethos. And we don't hear that very often on these interviews, and this was very refreshing. So Arun and Chintan, thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Andy, thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you very much, and you guys are fantastic, and you guys have a wonderful afternoon. And Arun, just lastly, I know there's going to be a lot of people wanting to get a hold of you. How do they get a hold of you, and where do they go to reach out to you to get your expertise and your help?
It's the LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is the best place to get connected. So we can get connected over LinkedIn. And just to let you know, Andy, like me and Chintan, we are planning to create an ecosystem where people who want to be entrepreneurs, or they have ideas, but they don't have enough resources or infrastructure, we are going to provide them those infrastructures and the ideas, and make sure that they can test their solution and absolutely free of charge. So LinkedIn is the best way of communicating or getting connected.
Wow, you heard it here first. That's an offer you absolutely cannot refuse. LinkedIn, look up Arun Kar and Chintan Panara, and of course we'll have all their information at the bottom of the video. Thank you so much, and you guys have a great, healthy day.
Thank you, Andy. Have a great day. Stay safe.